welcome to Divine Horses and Humans. I'm Jason J. Divine. We are in the round pen and you are watching the Ranker playlist. Right, Ranker, 42 years old, so we need to show her a little bit of respect. Looks amazing for her age, and she's off because I picked the stick and the string up. So that will tell you, right, what sort of horse we are dealing with today. Okay, so she's gone off in a let me think, anti-clockwise way. So she is left eye in, right eye out, and this is where she is more happy. Right, you go and watch the other playlist with her, you'll see she is a lot more happier on this side. So if you were to ride her, she would be stiff on the right side. So let's see what happens, because she's, the lead rope's dropped and I need her to work that out. This is where horses need to work things out, right? She needs to work this out, right? So I'm going to let her move her feet. I'm not going to make her wrong, because then what will happen, the flight animal will completely turn up, right? Or you could put it in the context of it's going to turn into a fight. And this is what I can't really understand. I can't really understand about the British equine world, that this thing, when they talk about having a fight with a horse, right? So I'm not going to rush into her, right? Because this is what you could do. You got to remember, right? The flight animal, and all she would do was start moving faster. See, and because I thought it happened. So let's just get dyslexic time out of the way, because I'm severely dyslexic, and I keep telling you, I get my left and my right mixed up. Right, this is my left, so it is 7:55 in the AM on the 25th of June 2025. So how am I going to catch her? Right, and this is all very good practice for, you know, trying to work stuff out with horses, instead of making them wrong all the time, and making it all about, oh, they run away, oh, they do this, they do that. So by me walking away, she stopped. Right, now she started moving again, but maybe because I moved back into her direction. So if I sort of walk over here and stay over here, she starts moving again. So I'm just going to stand here, relax, my leg cocked. I'm not a threat. I'm not going to get after you. I'm not a predator. Well, I am a predator because I'm an A-class predator. And we need to remember that. So you keep doing the same thing, you're always going to get the same result, right? So it's like me saying to you, like, comment, share, subscribe and all that jazz. Run and tell a friend, right? I don't know about you, but I get sick and tired of hearing that, and I skip over it. You're going to make up your mind and do your own thing, right? If you're here watching, you've got the intelligence to try and find some kind of different way with either your horse or wherever you're working, or just to see it from a different perspective. So by me just standing here talking to you and being relaxed, I'm not looking at her, I've got my shoulder onto her, right, I'm not directly on it. So I'm going to turn around and I'm going to go down here, and then I'm going to stop, and then I'm going to turn back over here, and I'm going to go over here, and then I'm going to stop, and I'm going, all right, and then I'm just going to walk in here, nonchalantly looking over there, and I'm going to rub on her. Right, now, I have the lead rope. I didn't turn it into a balls out fight, right? And this is the thing, okay? When we talk about a balls out fight, right, what you've got to understand, right, horses do not get into a fight, right? Human beings get into a fight. So if I was to stand there and go to you, right, come on then, right, and then bosh, I hit you, right, we're having a fight, okay, right, because I've made that decision in my flight, freeze or fight mode. I'm going to fight you, I'm going to step into you because I'm a predator, right? because that's what we do. Okay? Right, so what will happen with a horse, right? It's us that creates the fight, right? Because they're a flight animal. They have to move their feet and they have to leave, right? So if I go, get out of it, right, she moves away. Right, she moves away, okay? Right? And if I was to go like this when she moves away and start pulling on her and start going, no, you're not going into it, right? I am starting a fight because I am making it a fight. Instead of me going, right, I'm going to go with you, right? But I might support you every now and again and go, you need to come in this direction, right? I'm not making it into a fight because human beings are very good at closing their hands fast and clenching up, getting ready, that bracing up for a fight, right? Very good at that. And when you're sat on the top of a horse or even on the ground, you're going to brace up. And why are you bracing up? Because your sympathetic nervous system's kicked in, right? Then you need to go Google, right? And now you've gone into a flight, freeze or fight mode. And 9 times out of 10, right, humans will take the fight, depending on how bad the situation is. So unless you've ever been in a real physical fight with another human being, you may not understand where I'm coming from. Because there's a lot of pain involved in it and a lot of discomfort. And if you've experienced pain through being in a fight with another human being, right, you'll understand. But if you haven't, you'll find it very, very hard to understand what I'm trying to tell you. Because pain, punishment, doesn't teach any kind of sentient being, horses or humans. Why do I know? Because seriously dyslexic, neurodiverse, I've got a learning disability, as I was always told. Got no qualifications, and they basically punished me at school. They, it was only up to like, 2009, let's say 2010 for argument's sake, that I actually started to understand what the word discipline meant. In my head, discipline was like, you're going to get punished, you're going to get beaten, you're going to get lines, you're going to get detention, you're going to get thrown out of school. You need to learn some discipline, like you're going to be disciplined. And it doesn't work. It doesn't teach. But if you allow horses, right, to be a horse, not human, they're a horse, right, things will change. Right, because the biggest problem, worked in the British equine industry, and I'll keep doing this because I repeat myself all the time, right, worked in the British equine industry for over 25,000 hours. That's not including the hours I've worked with. Our horses no longer will, because there's this big hole, big hole. And when I used to show my hand with this stuff that I do, that it's called a foundation, it's like a North American based kind of horsemanship, because I've lost faith in that word in this country. You can get an awful lot done by not actually doing a lot. But here in the British equine industry, they've led you into a false narrative of you need bits, whips, tricks, tips, all of that, and you need to buy it off of the industry because it's going to sort your horse problem out. So if we get it right first off, right, you have a problem with your horse. Your horse doesn't have a problem. It's being a horse. And this is not talked about enough. And the biggest thing, right, most horses in the British equine industry are set to the left. Right, why is that? Because everything gets done from the left from the day they're born, because that's another thing that's ingrained into you, because that's what the narrative says. That's the way it's been done since the year dot, and that's the way we do it since the year dot. The horse industry in general, the British horse industry in general, is so backwards and so stuck in the past, in the dark ages, is unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. You're working with a sentient being that has its own mind. No, you need to go that way. No, I want you to get through this, right? They have their own mind, their own emotions, and they have feelings, right? So, Narenka would be classed as a spooky horse, a reactive horse, a sparky horse, a sharp horse, yeah? Right? And, right, she's licking and chewing, and I'm going to walk away now. And they would tell you, like, because they have two skill sets in the British equine industry, right, lunging and long lining, right, that A, they would either lunge them, right, or B, they would not lunge them, because that's not the answer, because, like, you're just effectively exhausting the horse, right? Well, you're not effectively exhausting them. That's how they see it, right? But they don't see it through the horse's eyes. The sympathetic nervous system, I'm just going to say it again, go Google it, right? Cortisol. Horses, certain horses have to get off cortisol. A lot of horses have to get off. Just like when you go into a flight, freeze, fight mode, you will start producing cortisol, and it will do strange stuff to you. Right, it'll make your muscles hurt, it'll make you feel tired, it makes you feel exhausted, and it's very addictive in humans. And I believe horses become addicted to it, because I believe, well done, I believe horses are neurodiverse. Well, they have to be, you have to increase a thing in their brain called dendrites, right? They're less reactive. They think their way through problems, right? So they have to go through a certain amount of discomfort to find comfort, right? They have to face adversity to become better at what they're doing. But no, here in the British equine industry, we just put all the blame on the horse, right? It's this, it's that. If that doesn't work, we can buy this snake oil, because that'll work. We can buy this feed product that's a calming product, that'll work. We can buy this new super duper bit that'll work. We can buy a set of martingales, because that'll work. So, like I said, when a horse is tense through their spine, they're tense in their mind. And you can hear her snorting, you hear that? Right? Right, I'm going to push her on a little bit more, see if we can lose some of this tension in her. There you go. Right. And as I said, self-carriage going on here, right? She's not over the vertical. I don't like seeing horses on the vertical because it messes their spine up. I think it's 3 and 4 in the vertebral, it breaks eventually. That's why you see this crookness in horses' necks, because polo ponies are very short necks. It's very hard to do. But she's got 4 corners under herself. She's maintaining gait, and she's looking where she's going. Is this not what we want? Right? So there's a value of a human being doing nothing and getting out the horse's way. Because the more we get out the horse's way, the more the horse is doing horse stuff, and we have to use that. So there's a stop, there's a turn. I don't care if she turns into the fence. I truly don't care about that. People, oh, it's disrespectful and this. It's not disrespectful. If you're bending them into the fence, it teaches them the start of a rollback. And if a rollback is used in polo when you want the horse to... No, I want you to go that way. I want 2 laps. When the horse has got to stop and turn and pivot. And this is where foundation work, working on the ground like this with horses, is huge. There's that pattern, see? And this is, no, you need to get that way. Go on. Right, I'm going to keep my energy on her, and I'm going to do British lunging. I'm going to keep energy behind her, and I'm going to keep my long line on her, right? Because she needs that support. But if you do this constantly, right, there you go, I wanted 2 laps and we got it, and we got a real good stop. And I'm going to, if you do that constantly, right, they're going to constantly go forward, 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 forward. They're going to get more forward on you, they're going to get stronger on you, because you haven't put anything in place to go, right, I need you to disengage your hip, right? No, I need you to turn back that way, right? It's because you're still not taking any notice. I need you to turn back that way. No, 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 I need you to turn back that way. So you can hear, right? That is fear. Right, she's not being disrespectful to her. She's a fearful horse. She would what I would class as a very right-brained horse. And why do I say that? Because dyslexic people are very right-brained, right? And one of the reasons I got into horses because I wanted to understand why I felt like I felt all the time. And there was this fear in me that was creating a lot of problems in my life, and I wanted to know why, and I wanted a way of controlling it. So I got into horses because I heard horses were really good for it. And what it led me into is the sympathetic nervous system, cortisol. And basically I was exposed to cortisol at a very, very young age, right? And dyslexic part of it, broken home, so much more. And I believe I became quite addicted to it. And this is why horses. Because I am a fear-based human. But I went through all of it. Fear, freeze, fight, everything. And when I see human beings fighting with horses, and it's the human being creating the fight, it makes me real upset. Real upset, because they're just being a horse. They're doing what horses do. And I've worked in the industry. They broke me mentally. They caused me to have a mental breakdown. I will no longer work in the industry because it's full of bullies. And now you can see that horse has got a leg cocked. So I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to go up here. I'm not thinking in straight lines. Right, so I'm going to go up here and I'm going to go around here, and then I'm going to change direction and I'm going to go back here. Keep my energy off her. My energy's out there, my thought process is out there. I'm not predatory, I'm not stalking her. Like, I'm going to catch you and walking around with it, I'm going to catch you. Don't work. It don't work because you're predatory. Your heart rate's gone up, your blood pressure's gone up, you're starting to produce cortisol again, yeah, because you're panicking, I can't catch my horse. And this seriously needs to be talked about, this topic. Seriously. Because you can't catch a horse because they run away from you. Don't want to be anything, do you? Doesn't want to be near you. Don't buy into this BS that the industry tells you, oh, that's just the way horses are. No, complete and utter bullshit. Because that is how the industry has made them. That is how the industry makes millions and millions of pounds and dollars out of you to buy all the gear, and you haven't really got an idea, because that's what I keep seeing. I see these people with all the gear and no idea. Yeah, they can do all the nice fancy stuff sitting on their back and that, but when it goes wrong on the back, they've got nowhere to go. Well, see, she stepped into that, so I just stopped for a moment. They've got nowhere to go apart from lunging and long lining. That's all they've got. They can't teach that horse to go, right, I want you to disengage your hind and I want you to turn like this. This is my rein. You might see it as a lead rope, but it's a rein. And then I go around here and I'm like, I want you to turn. I want you to turn. It's a rein. You've got to start looking at it from a different perspective. It's no, there you go. You've got to start looking at it from a different perspective. It's a signal piece of equipment. Rope halters are a signal piece of equipment. This is the signal. I want you to lower your head, lower your head, lower your head. Yeah, yeah. The more you get horse to lower its head, the calmer they are. Hugely, hugely important. And as I said, it's just seriously overlooked. Because you'll never ever see a British rider, well, in the 25,000 hours I worked for them, I never saw a British rider get up on a horse and actually flex them. Oh, I felt that click in her wither. And flex them. Because what this tells you, see, she's still pretty tight, but she's better. She's a lot better. Yes, there. Right? And what that tells you is that she's fairly free in the spine. So it means she's free in her mind, she's calm in her mind. And this should be a pre-flight check before you go off and ride a horse. And if you cannot do this on a light rein like that, and you have to drag their face around, and they are going to get fearful and they're going to take off on you. You're not riding a motorcycle. They're not a push bike even. And the other thing in the British equine industry that I see all the time is this British way of riding on contact. That horse is on contact BS. You can't ride a horse off contact, right, with a loose rein. You've got a problem. And if you think you're in control of an animal that goes 6, 7, 8, 900 kilos plus, and your reins are like this, and you're steering them like that, trouble's going to find you, and it's going to find you pretty fast. But the industry has led you into a false sense of security, because now this horse is joined up to me, yeah, it's hooked on to me, yeah, the Monty magic, yeah. It's all BS. Horses are naturally followers or leaders. They understand they have to take both roles on. There you go, you're all right, love. They have to take both roles on. And if you don't allow them to take both roles on, you're not being a part of the conversation. Because the conversation is about the journey, not the destination. And the most important part of that journey is the companionship, the partnership, the relationship. It's the most important part of all of it. And like I said, I will keep going over the same ground, because this stuff hugely, hugely overlooked, and it's hugely, hugely important. And if you've got a horse that's sticky to the right, it's because you're doing everything from the left. Do the bridle up, do the girth up, and that's all to do with the old school warriors having their sword on the right hand side. So the right foot goes into the stirrup and over they go, because they can't do it the other way because of their sword. That's what it's all to do with. And you've been sold the narrative, that's the way it's done, and that's the way it's always going to be done, and that is the way we do it. So at that one, go and do the jazz. If you want to click it on, click it off, do what you want, pop down the bottom. You've got a brain in your head, but I'm seriously asking you, go Google sympathetic nervous system and cortisol. So we'll catch you in the next one.